नमस्कार, स्वागतम जनाइछु। वेलकम टू गोलेज एजुकेशन। আজি क्लास 9 मोमेंट्स किताबটিৰ পৰা चैप्टर 5 द हैप्पी प्रिन्सৰ प्रश्नोत्तर आलोचना কৰিম। लेट्स स्टार्ट। Why do the courtiers call the prince the happy prince? Is he really happy? What does he see all around him? The prince was called the happy prince by his courtiers because he was constantly cheerful. He had no idea what tears were when he was alive, since he lived in a palace where sorrow was forbidden. But when he died and was turned into a statue, he was not happy, and tears streamed down his face when he saw the devastation of his city. He could see the ugliness, depravity, and poverty in the city. 2 number प्रश्न. Why does the happy prince send a ruby for the seamstress? What does the swallow do in the seamstress house? The happy prince donated a ruby to the seamstress since she was desperately destitute and could not feed her favorite child. The swallow went to the seamstress house after being convinced by the prince. The swallow kept the ruby on the table where the woman worked since she had fallen asleep. He then flew around the bed, his wings brushing the boy's forehead. This helped the youngster feel at ease, and he fell asleep as a result. Question number 3. For whom does the prince send the sapphires and why? The happy prince sent the sapphires for two people. First, he sent a sapphire for a young writer who was trying to finish a play for the director of the theater, but he was too cold to write anymore. There was no fire in the grate, and hunger had made him faint. Prince sent him a sapphire so that he could arrange money by selling it and buy firewood and finish his play in time. The prince sent his second sapphire to a poor match girl. Her matches had fallen into the gutter. The prince knew that her father would beat her if she did not bring home some money. So the prince gave her the second sapphire, seeing which she became very happy and ran home smiling all the way. What does the swallow see when it flies over the city? When the swallow flew over the city, he saw different types of people. He saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses while the beggars were sitting at the gates. When he flew in the dark lanes, he saw the white faces of starving children looking out listlessly at the black streets. Under the archway of a bridge, he saw two little boys lying in each other's arms, trying to keep themselves warm in the rain. They were extremely hungry and had no shelter, but the watchman shouted at them and ordered them to vacate the archway. Question number 5. Why did the swallow not leave the prince and go to Egypt? The prince had become blind as he had made the swallow deliver the sapphire from his eyes to the needy. The prince's kindness touched his heart and made him change his mind. He could not leave the prince in that state and decided to live with him forever and gave up its idea of going to Egypt. Though the prince asked him to leave, he did not go and thought of helping the poor with the help of the prince. 6. What are the precious things mentioned in the story? Why are they precious? The precious things mentioned in the story are the dead bird and the laden heart of the prince. These two are precious as they sacrificed their lives to help others in their desperate times. The swallow left his trip to Egypt and worked tirelessly every night to help the poor and the needy. The prince also gave up his jewelry, his eyes and gold leaves from his body to help them. When God asked one of the angels to bring him two precious things in the garden of paradise, the angel brought the laden heart of the prince and the dead bird. God proclaimed that in his garden of paradise the little bird shall sing forever, and in the city of gold the happy prince shall praise God.